Do you have any tips for me? How should I read? Guys? Yes, somebody raised his hand. Who's that? Okay.
I'm Kunuz.
Okay. Who's talking?
I'm Kunuz.
Kunuz, hurry up. Go ahead, tell me. How
I
should
guess
I
that
read here?
I guess that we after we have spotted the keywords, we should search for them while we're reading. If we found them, then we should go ahead.
Okay, but this is not my question, dear. You jumped into another question not before 10 minutes earlier. I said, do we have a skill for reading? How do you read? Not how to answer the passage, which is entirely different. Because actually the way you read emphasizes how you're going to answer successfully. I didn't tell you how you're going to answer exercise 1. I didn't say that. I said how you're going to read. Okay, for those they don't know, we have 3 skills concerning the reading. The first and the second skill in reading concerned with exercise 1 and exercise 3, which is the note, and exercise 4, which is the summary. The third skill concerned with the second exercises in the reading, which is the third skill of reading. Actually, we have 3 skills concerning the reading. If I'm going to read like that, the Scooter dragon tree is an unusual tree as it looks rather like an open umbrella. It is found on the island of Scooter of the coast of Africa. Although the island is near to Somalia than Yemen, it actually belongs the later. How did I read? How did I read this one? I read it fast and I didn't neglect any of the words. That means I'm looking for the main idea, because actually the core of note-taking and the core of understanding the main idea is to read fast, do not skip any of the words to get the main idea of the first passage or the first paragraph. This is what I call in English skimming. This is what I call in English skimming. Skimming is to read fast, read each and every detail to allocate the main idea. طيب, what about skipping words? يعني Scotra, unusual tree, open umbrella, in Scotra rather than Somalia. I skipped words. When I'm skipping words and reading fast, that means I'm scanning. Why do I scan? Because actually this is what you said, dear girl, dear young lady, allocating information, because I'm scanning on keywords that I found in the question, and I'm going to read it out loud again and find and allocate the information in the passage. This is concerning exercise 1, reading, and exercise 3, not taking, and a little bit of exercise 4, which is the summary writing. Then what about the third? What about the third skill, which is inferring actually? What do I mean by inferring? Inferring means going between the lines. يعني reading between the lines, and that goes perfectly well to exercise 2, which is the new exercise for those who are asking. For those who are asking, this is the new exercise that Cambridge went for 2 years ago. Actually, it's not strange that all of us are killing the Cambridge exams with flying colors. Can you still hear me? Because it's telling me the connection is not that much. Anyway, inferring means when you read something like that in exercise 2 in grade 9 and 10, we have 4 different passages, and we have 10 sentences in grade 10 for 10 marks, total 10 marks, and in grade 9, we have 8 sentences with 8 marks. Let's go again for the first reading. The first reading, as the young lady answered, يبقى احنا عرفنا دلوقتي ان احنا we have 3 skills: skimming, scanning, and inferring. Upon answering here, when I go for this question, guys, the first one, which country is the island of Scooter part of? What should I do, message first or the question first? Can I have an answer? I have an answer.
Teacher, your
In grade
voice is
9 and
lagging.
10, which should I read
Ma'am,
first?
you're lagging.
Yes.
You're lagging. We can't hear you.
I don't know what with it. Do you understand? You can hear me now?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
pretty
now
loud.
better, yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
the course was lagging.
I said a question. In 9 and 10, we prefer, or is the successful way to read the passage first or the question?
I guess the questions.
I'm waiting for an answer.
Well, Miss, can you repeat the question because you're lagging?
What's your name, dear? What's your name?
Kunuz.
Oh God. Yes, ya Kunuz. Yes,
I guess
ya Kunuz.
I guess I should read the question first.
Perfect. What are you going to do with the question, Kunuz?
I'm going to spot the keywords.
Very good. You're going to underline the keywords. It's not working for me here, underlining one word and another, but actually, can you tell me, in a question like that, which country is the island of Skutra part of? Which ones you're going to be underlining?
The word Skutra and which?
Which question? That's the second.
What?
No, the first one is which. You're going to underline the word which because it's the WH question. The second one, which one you're going to underline? Country. Then island. Then part of. By underlining all of these three words, they are a keywords or a main words that you're going to go to the message and locate the answer with. I need somebody else to try. What are we going to underline over here?
Ma'am, can I try to answer?
Somebody else rather than Kunuz?
Can I try to answer?
What percentage of sutras? We're not going to answer, but okay, go ahead, try.
No,
Tell me the words that you're going to underline.
What and percentage and Scotch
And question 2, yes.
Yeah, percentage and what? And also we underline plants. Island.
Skutra planets, very good.
And what percentage?
It can be
What
found.
percentage?
Island. Very good. What's, yes, very good. I heard you the first time. What's your name, dear?
My name is Sarah.
What's your name?
Sarah.
Sarah, are you 9 or 10, dear?
10.
I know you are 9 or 10.
10, ma'am, 10.
10, very good. Which school are you? Are you in Egypt or outside?
No, I live in UAE, Abu Dhabi.
In Egypt or outside Egypt?
Yeah.
For the internet connection, wallah. We try to underline the question 3. How tall do Scotch dragon trees typically grow? If I'm going to answer, I'm gonna highlight how tall Skutra trees would typically is very important. Any passage that means that the first step of answering any passage concerning grade 10 and 9 is to underline the keywords in the question and go and allocate them in type. Do I have another tip? Yes, actually we have lots of tips. Can anybody give me another tip while answering? Kunuz?
We should not write the complete sentence.
Do you have any other tips? Excellent. We should answer in answer. Why should I do that? Why should I do that?
To save time.
Sarah, should
okay.
I answer in short answer? Actually, no. Of course, it's to save time, but why?
Because
Yeah.
Because like if you wrote the sentence like with
I'm
the wrong
hearing.
grammar,
One
with the wrong
mark?
grammar or sentence structure, you would lose marks.
Mhm.
Because
Okay.
it needs one mark?
Actually, because you are in
What happened?
Ma'am, your screen is stopped. You're not scared. You're not sharing. Ma'am, are you here? Okay.
Maybe the internet connection is way too slow.
Yeah, she was lagging so much.
You listen to me now?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome, that's fine.
Okay. Are you with me, guys?
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes, ma'am, we're
Okay.
here.
When we have to have a short answer in Cambridge, that's because the examiner wanted you to be precise. The 1 mark goes for a precise answer. If you're going to let your hand write lots of details in the question, and even if the correct answer is embedded between the long sentence, you're not going to be, actually you're going to be penalized for it. You're not going to have the mark because you're telling the examiner that you're not focused enough. This is why the second tip of answering any of the passages of Cambridge, it has to be precise. Sometimes it's 1 word or 2. Sometimes it's 3 words. Sometimes it's a short sentence, but not longer than this. So the first tip was underlining the keywords in the question, then allocated in the passage. The second tip was answering in short form. طب do we have another tip? Do we have another tip?
Maybe by looking at the mark?
No. You don't have to do anything with the mark. Sarah Sameh,
Highlighting the important points from the passage.
we said that. I said that a minute ago. I said that we have 2 tips.
Okay.
Underlining the keywords in the question, and of course in the passage, it goes without saying, and short answers. We have a lot. What is the third? Can I give you the third?
Teacher, I can give you one.
Yes, dear. Tell me.
The questions are arranged in order in the passage also, so we can just find the questions by the order.
Are you sure?
Yeah, in
For
exercise
all the
1 they are
questions?
in order.
For all the questions?
No, question 9,
No.
no.
Yeah. Be precise, Sarah. From question 1 till question 8, actually what Sarah said, it's going to be ordered in the passage. So what you're going to say, you're going to copy and paste in short answers. But question 9, which is the challenging question in passage 1, in reading exercise 1, it's going to be, the answers are going to be scattered all over the passage. Very good. So do you have another one for me?
But I'm Kunuz, not Sarah.
I'm sorry, I don't have your names in front of me. So whenever I say Sarah, whatever, please answer me back. Thank you. Type, do I have another tip? Do I have another tip? What if I have a question concerning measurement? Meter, centimeter, liter, kilos, grams. What should I do in that question? Can I have an answer?
Being concerned about the numbers in the passage?
Not the numbers, actually. If you have any question concerned with measurements, concerned with length, concerned with width, height, you have to write the units beside it. Otherwise, you're going to be penalized for the question. If the question concerned with مثلا 10 centimeters, you have all the right to write 10 in numbers or in letters, and write the centimeter in initial C.M or centimeters in letters. But if you're going to neglect centimeter as a whole, you're not going to have the mark for this. So actually we have lots and lots and lots of tips concerning Cambridge exercise 1. If we're going to go to exercise 2, we have a special technique to answer exercise 2. in which he's telling us, read the article about people from A to D who are describing an activity they enjoy, then answer questions from 10 to J. Of course, we have 4 passages in 9 and 10, and we have 10 sentences. I'm sorry for the disturbance outside because I don't know if you're going to hear it or not, but this is out of my hand. We have 10 statements here for 10 and 8 for 9. Type. Are we going to read the question first here, like the second one, like the first exercise?
No, we won't.
Of course, no. What are we going to do then?
We will read the passages.
I cannot hear you all at once. If you want to talk to me, raise your hand. Okay, who's raising his hand? Judy. Yes, Judy.
Read every passage and
I can't hear you, dear. Please raise your voice.
we were gonna read every passage.
Are you going to read A and B and C and D at the same time?
No, I'm going to read A, then I will go to the questions again, and then
Perfect.
I'm gonna read B.
This is good. How you're going to read A? Just using your eyes?
No.
No. What are you going to do? Skimming only?
No, I'm gonna do also scanning and highlight any keyword or something that attracted my eye.
No, you have to be specific, yeah, Judy. Actually, when you read passage A, you're going to hold on your pencil and underline any sentence or a phrase that comes after the feeling words, like love, like, dislike, prefers, afford. All of these are going to give you a hidden meanings. In this, actually, exercise 2 in Cambridge, we're going to use lots of inferring because sometimes he's not going to tell you the direct meaning of what he wants. He's going to implicate the meaning. So you have to read between the lines using the inferring method I told you about to get the correct idea. By reading A all at once, then going to the statements, reading 1 and 2 and 3 and E, B and C and D, and you're going to match between the description you've read here and any one of here and placing the letter beside. But reading all the passages at once, it won't work, dear. It will baffle you. It will make you really confused. Read one at each time, right? Then answer the passages. I want to tell you that exercise 1 and exercise 2 in Cambridge are actually a gift. Why should I say it's a gift? Because after exercising for an adequate time, they're going to be much easier for you rather than anything else in the whole world. Do you have any question concerning exercise 1 and 2?
No, thank you, teacher.
No, thank you.
My name is Mrs. Amira or Mrs. Naggar. Okay, address me by my name. Let's go for exercise 3, which is the note taking. What do I mean by a note, guys?
Taking.
What's a note? No. What's a note? Away from the question itself. What's a note? Somebody's raising his hand. Please answer me. Okay. What's a note?
It's like to write when, for example, it's giving you a paragraph, you take the important points and write it. This is called noting. Like,
how do you, okay, Sarah, how do you know that the note you extracted from the passage is a valid one?
I don't know.
I don't know. Type, do you have a technique of answering the note taking? Are you going to read the passage first or the headings first?
The heading, and then I will try to find the information in the passage. Exactly. Very good. You're going to give a talk about the advantages and disadvantages of vertical farming to your class at school. Prepare some notes to use as the basis for your talk. Make short notes under each heading. So I'm going to memorize the first heading, advantages of vertical farming. Then I'm going to remind myself more and more and more. Amira,
Remind yourself, what are you looking for? Vertical, the advantages of vertical farming. And go there with my pencil. Read, but read for details, not reading for allocating information. That means that you're going to skim. And when you find the first note, you're going to underline it and copy it over here. But what if you're going to miss the core note with something else? Doesn't it happen a lot? Answer me, please.
Well, sometimes.
Sometimes you misunderstand the core note. You're missing the core note and you're writing something in similar. Why is that?
When I was confused.
Would you please raise out your votes?
Sometimes when I'm confused,
okay,
I
I'm listening.
mix up the question.
Teacher, your voice is a bit lagging. Can you repeat the question?
How have you ever asked yourself? The question is,
Ma'am? Okay.
We can't see the screen.
Yeah, me too. I can't see the screen. Me too.
guys?
Yes,
Guys,
ma'am.
can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Okay. My question was, how do you make sure that you've written a core note, a valid one, after reading this? Advantages of vertical farming. When you go there, how you can make sure that you got a correct note? Actually, because the passage is full of explanation, examples, and everything with the core note. Focusing on the core note and not the distractors that the examiner has put to you in the passage for you not to understand the core note itself, make a way, clear away all distractions, like examples, like extra information, extra information and examples about the core note that you're going to have. Clear them out, you're going to have the core note itself. If you're going to answer the note taking, here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 notes with 6 valid marks. If you, sometimes in the passage we have more than 6 actually. Don't try and write the 7th. Please don't. Why? Because actually if you write a 7th one and it's wrong, it's going to take the one of the right, and this is not good. So stick to the 6 he mentioned. Another tip concerning answering this, do not get out of this border, because actually you know that your exams are going to be scanned and sent to Cambridge for checking. Nobody's going to look at any of the writings away from this border. Understood, guys?
Yes.
Yes,
guys?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Okay. Let's look at the summary. Who
Miss
likes
Amira.
the summary? Yes.
Don't you mind, please, to share the screen?
I'm not sharing the screen. Are you sure?
Yes,
No.
ma'am.
Why is that?
We can't see.
Okay.
I think because your net is unconnected when you got out from the meeting.
You can see it now?
Yeah, it's loading. It's fine now.
You're lagging, dear. Do you see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
This is so bad luck for 9 and 10. I've just
It's
finished.
visible now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the internet connection is out of my hand. I've just finished a meeting with grade 8 and it was perfect, the internet. Anyway, what do you feel about writing the summary? Yani, you read the article about women called Laura Baxter who enjoys taking part in long cycles races. Write a summary of the advice Laura gives to people who are interested in taking part in a long cycle race. What's the first technique I do in writing a summary?
Well, actually, we will read it, and then we are gonna take notes, and then we gonna arrange
How many
our
notes? Okay, how many notes you're going to write so you can have the full mark in content?
There are 8.
About 6, but I'm going to choose 8.
8 and 10 and 6 and 9. Very good. What else? Okay, you've got the notes. What are you going to do next?
I'm gonna arrange them and then start writing. But in
Sarah, don't erase them, dear. This is your paper. You're entitled to do whatever you want in them. Don't erase them. Don't ever do that. If you're going to underline them, so be it. If you're going to write them in shorthand writing after or before the summary itself, go ahead. The summary, actually, when you are going to attempt to write the summary, it has to have a style. What do I mean by having a style in your writing? And of course, you know that it's going to be 16 marks in total. What do I mean by style, Yasara?
Teacher, actually, we need to use our words as far as possible.
This is paraphrasing, but do not get out of the question I'm asking. Of course, you have to paraphrase. You're not going to copy paste. You're going to copy paste to the note. But when you're going to take from the notes and put it in the summary itself, you have to use your own words as far as possible, of course. But that wasn't my question. My question was, what's a style in writing? You have to have a style. What does that mean? Anybody?
You need to write in a formal style.
Very good. And the form, who's answering?
Sarah.
Sarah Samah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Sarah. طبعا formal standard. The formality in writing the summary required the beginning?
No.
Should I write an introduction for the summary, Sarah?
No, summary is just
No.
No, of course, no introduction. Sorry for the internet connection again.
No,
Of course, no. Pardon?
No, I was saying it's
Pardon
fine.
me?
I was saying it's fine.
I can't hear you because of the noise outside my house. What did you say again?
I was saying it's fine.
Okay. Concerning the vocabulary that you're going to use in the summary is going to be advanced vocabulary. After paraphrasing what you've seen in the notes, you don't have to refer to the passage again. Put the passage away and concentrate upon the notes. Type, how you're going to put the notes into the summary? Anybody?
we are gonna link them together according if they have a relation.
Very good. What a relation is there? Maybe we can have a cause and effect relation, right?
Yes, and
an addition
then
relation.
we can use a linker to link them together.
Very good. But inside, when you say a linker, say connectives, a highly advanced connectives. But do we have more than one connective or one type of connective to be used? Yes. Can you tell me the types of connectives that were going to be essentially used in the summary?
Although,
Sarah? Yes.
eventually,
do not give me examples, give me their names. Yani, subordinating connectives, right? Right?
subordinating
Connectives or conjunctions. Conjunctive adverbs. Do you know what's the conjunctive adverbs? If I'm going to give you examples for it, you're going to know it. Conjunctive adverbs, the long adverbs, the long conjunctives like however, nevertheless, consequently, and the punctuation is really important in the summary. Sometimes we're using the colon and the semicolon instead of connectives. And you know what, young ladies? When you do that, when you do not use a connective and link them with an advanced punctuation marks, you're going to get high marks. The punctuation or the advanced punctuation marks I'm calling in mind, colon, semicolon, and a dash. The sentence structure counts. The grammar that you're going to use counts. Everything counts in a summary. Do you want to ask me anything concerning summary? And of course, paraphrasing. Yes.
Teacher, how I'm going to summarize it? Like, for example, sometimes I'm writing the points, paraphrasing, but after doing that, I see that I just exceed the limits.
Because actually you're letting yourself drift with your information. As I said before, when you're extracting the notes, dear, put the passage aside. Do not look at it again. Concentrate on the notes. And the notes themselves, they have to be short. They are called notes. You're not going to be able to write a big, long sentences and call it a note. Sometimes it exceeded to 5 words, but not more than 5 words. Drop all the adjectives and the adverbs and concentrate on the note. When you have 6 to 8 notes, you're going to give the relation as one of your mates here said. Whether do I have a cause and effect relation, whether I have an additional relation, choose your adequate and best and advanced linkers, or choose your best punctuation marks and put them together. And don't forget ever to paraphrase. And this is what I meant by the style, actually. The style is not only concerned with the formal and informal. The style is how do you present your writing. Whether it's short sentences, the sentence structure, the punctuation, the advanced vocabulary, all of that counts. طيب, the examiner at the end of the year is actually testing you in 2 kinds of writing. We have an exercise 5 and exercise 6, 2 different registers. One of them is informal and the other one is formal, right?
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, okay. In question 10, all Cambridge exams, thousands of years ago, concentrating upon the informal writing. And every time you get an email or a letter, they are the same, by the way. But that is going to block Cambridge if she wants, مثلا, Cambridge this year to get you an informal article. Anybody can hold against her anything? No, it's an informal kind of writing. Because actually, when I write informally, that means I'm writing informal letters with informal articles. When I write formally in exercise 6, that means I'm writing formal letters and formal articles. You get my meaning, young ladies? Do not conjure yourself in exercise 5 هو letter. طب ممكن يجيب حاجة تانية. يعني ممكن يجيب article. ممكن الارتكلز كمان فيها نوعين, formal و informal. You got me, guys? طيب. In writing informally, pardon, yes?
Ma'am, but like in school, they told us that informal letter and email are the same thing.
Yes, they are. This is what I said 10 minutes ago.
Oh,
they are the
okay.
same. Oh, yeah, but maybe you didn't hear me.
Okay,
because actually the internet connection is not that good whatsoever.
It's fine, it's fine.
Anyway, when I say that, okay, when I write informally, if I'm going to concentrate about informal letters, that means I'm writing in a friendly register. That means I'm writing to my relative, I'm writing my cousin, but you have to differentiate between informal, yeah, I have to differentiate between informal kind of writing and chatty writing. Do we have a difference? Do we have a difference?
I think we're going to use idioms in the informal writing, right?
Shame on you. Who's that?
I'm
Sarah.
Kunuz.
Are you Sarah? Kunuz.
No, I'm
sorry,
Kunuz.
Habibti. Kunuz Habibti, one of the most important thing to be put in an informal letter is the idioms, girl. This is what makes your letter lavishing. Who taught you that? No. We have 6 to 7 requirements to be put in an informal letter or an email. One of them is the idiom, to express a situation, express a feeling, express anything, even describing the place that you're on. Idioms are very important. No, actually, you cannot tell the difference between informal and chatty language. What I mean is, inside the informal letter or email in exercise 5, you're not allowed to say chatty language. Chatty language يعني زي ما تقول كده إيه, I was kind of sad. No, I was sad. Kinda is chatty. You're not supposed to write it in letters. لما مثلا تقول لك إيه, yesterday I went to the garden and I chilled out. No, chilling out is a chatty language, and chatty language is not a proper standard English. Okay, so you have to differentiate between the informal that you're going to use and the letter or the email. Type, the email and the letter are all layouts for different purposes. What are the purposes that I'm going to write concerning the letter or the email? And that goes for 9 and 10 equally.
What, teacher?
Do we have many purposes? Yes? Yes? Can anybody answer me?
Ma'am, can you repeat your question because you're lagging?
Oh God. Okay. When I'm writing an informal register in the letter or the email, okay? What kind of purpose am I writing with? Do we have lots of purposes?
Yes, the bullet points and the...
No. Understand my question. Before each and every kind of writing, whether it's a letter or an article or a report or whatever, you have to set your targets. What type of article that you're writing, what type of letter that you are writing, who are the audience, and what is the purpose of writing? What are the purposes of writing letters?
It's like describing.
Very good. Very good. Yes. I'm writing to describe. What else? What else? I'm writing to apology.
Write a letter.
I'm writing to advise. I'm writing to inform. I'm writing to recount. I'm writing to narrate. So I have lots of purposes inside writing a letter. Type, can you give me, we have 7 or 8 demands or requirements for the email. Can you give me just 2 of them? وطبعا one of them I said the idioms.
We should follow the points given and we should include them in our email.
Short forms or refer to common people?
No, I'm sorry. What does that mean?
Ma'am, no, I said, yes? Teacher, I said we should follow the points given and we should include them in our email.
Okay. You recently watched an interesting documentary which helped you to do a housework project. Write an email to a friend about the documentary. From this rubric, what I just read, you can extract the purpose. What is the purpose of this letter, girls?
A documentary.
Describing the documentary.
No, I'm sorry. No.
It's wrong? Okay.
Understand the question, girls. Yes, I can hear you. Sarah.
Ma'am,
yes.
Like describing the documentary to your friend.
Very good. Describing. But actually, before you describe, you have to do what?
Which is the like, dear friend.
No. Focus, ya Sarah, on purpose. Sarah, focus.
Oh,
what's
okay.
the purpose? You recently watched an interesting documentary which helped you to do a housework and write about the documentary. يبقى أنت هنا you're going to write information about the documentary, describing what you're going to do, and inform. We describe, and what else? We explain. In your email you should. هو حتى قايل اهو before I read it. Describe the documentary. يبقى أول purpose, describe the documentary that you watched. ثاني حاجة قايلها tell, يعني inform your friend about the housework project. والله أنا ما في زيي. Explain. يعني 3 purposes are inside the letter. We inform, we explain. It's very essential in grade 10 to get a good mark when you are trying and putting into yourself. Are you listening to me?
Yes,
Are you listening to me? Do you understand what I'm saying, young lady?
Yes, you're lagging, but you can
Do you understand? I'm lagging. But what should I do? What should I do? Actually, in your email, you should describe and narrate and explain. Excuse me?
No problem.
You can hear me, guys?
Yes, no,
okay.
I think it's fine.
Okay. So in this email, you should write the 3 purposes. Another question to end this exercise. What should I include inside? What should I include inside the letter to have
introduction?
Flying colors, ideas. Yani we're not going to talk about it. You have to be, pardon?
I was saying introduction.
Again?
Introduction.
We said the introduction, right?
Yeah.
Introduction that you're going to use.
Yeah.
What kind?
I'm not sure, but like, can we
what
use
kind of introduction? This is a question.
What kind of introduction? Like asking him about his life or her life.
Can we use what?
Like asking him or her.
Okay, you don't know the meaning of this introduction in English?
No, Mom, I know
actually, for grade 10 and 9. Pardon?
I know what is introduction, but
actually, type. Listen to me, please, Sarah. For an introduction in an email, you should use 3 kinds of introduction, and you're going to match each introduction with the correct letter, with the correct purpose of letter. You should use an introductory that goes with the apology, and actually it's not going to match over here. You should use an introduction that goes without apology, and it's not going to match here. And the third one, you're going to use a personal reference. A personal reference is to write something that goes between you and your friend or your relative. Nobody else knows about it, to create bond with him in front of the examiner. And this is what we call personal reference. This is for the introduction. But actually, my question wasn't about the introduction. It was about the second and the third main body of the letter, in which we're going to write developed ideas. There are 7 or 8 requirements to be put in a letter so you can have good mark. What are they?
Personalizing phrases.
Personalizing phrases. Excellent. I need another one. I need another one. I need another one, guys. We said idioms and personalizing phrases. When you are giving your friend lots of ideas, is your friend going to believe you without supporting your ideas?
No.
No, so I have to give what? Each and every idea. Support. Okay, these are 3 main tips for the developed ideas in a letter. We have other 5. But what about kinds of informal letters? Actually, in the informal letters, we have lots of stuff, actually. We have descriptive ones, in which that we're going to describe homes and family, school, and members and friends. We have narrative letters with their 3 types. We have descriptive narrative with all its types. We have advice. This is concerning informal letters. Now, what about the informal article, in which we call it school magazine articles, with a certain layout? We have the for and against, which we call it opinion. We have dealing with problems. We have give advice and making suggestion. And we have the narrative letters. So this is concerned with the what? With the informal kind of letter, okay? Actually, all these writings should adhere to the word limit, should adhere to the word limit, from 100, 150 in grade 9, and exceeding to 200 in grade 10. Type concerning the formal writing, also we have formal letters and formal articles. Formal letters, we can write formal letters varying from apology to advice, to invite, to argue, which have a special and a certain requirements. Type concerning the formal articles, can you hear me, young ladies?
We are hearing you now, but we weren't.
Yes, ma'am, we can now.
What last did you hear?
You said, wait, I don't know, ask someone else.
Actually, I'm not going to ask someone else. I'm going to continue. Anyway, I was giving you the differentiation between formal and informal writing. The formal writer or the formal articles required style in writing, required a very genuine idea, required developing idea. Can anybody has a chance and telling me, how should I develop an idea? What's a developing idea anyway? Actually, without writing developing idea in the articles at the end of year in grade 10, you're not going to have a proper mark. What do I mean by developing an idea? Guys?
Enhance it with
yes,
giving it an explanation, an example, and a conclusion.
what does that mean? Can you give me an example?
Ma'am, like,
we have young men with us. We have Mu'min and pardon? We have Mu'min and we have Suhaib. Very good. Can you say that again, please? Guys, actually, I can develop an idea by writing the idea clearly. That means that you're going to write your idea clear, but you're not going to be having any marks for it, except you write a real example from real life towards that, okay? And then you're going to justify it. What do I mean justify it? As you said, young lady, giving the result or giving the dead end for your idea. And this is supposed to be what? Supporting your idea. Okay, guys, this is developing ideas. Concerning the formal articles, we have actually 4 of them. Can anybody tell me the kinds of formal articles?
Teacher, can I answer?
Yes, you can.
Is it suggesting and complaining about a problem?
In articles, not in letters. Articles. Articles, dear, not in letter.
ma'am, can you say essay writing? A kind of writing? Like, no.
An article writing. What kind of purpose, dear? What I'm asking you, you want me to answer the question? You don't want to think?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay, we have 4 different formal articles, okay? As I said before, they are required different vocabulary, advanced punctuation marks, style, developed ideas, and way more. Number 1 in the formal articles, opinions and suggestions. يعني هنا بيقول لك إيه? Your school is going to make some improvements to the school library. Your teacher has asked you to write a report, but this is a report, not an article. It's the same action of article or formal articles. They are opinions and suggestion, number 1. Number 2, presenting views and arguments. Number 3, presenting problems and solutions. Number 4, writing projects. This is concerned with the what? With the formal kind of articles. But these are we all have in grade 10 and 9? No, of course we have reports like this one. This is a report. And we have reviews. Type, what kinds of reports do we have in 9 and 10? We have 2 kinds of reports. Number 1, we call it reporting experience, or recounting an experience. And this is requiring a little bit of the narrative style and the informative skill. The second one, we call it assessing good and bad points. Assessing good and bad points. This is formal from the beginning till the end. It has subheadings, it has advanced vocabulary, and sometimes scientific. Have you taken that before, girls?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Very good.
I did.
And sometimes you've been asked to write a review. You can review anything, actually. Review a song, a dance, a museum, a factory, a restaurant.
A book.
But yes, yes. Yes, dear, I'm hearing you. I can hear you. Okay.
Teacher,
Yes.
we're going to express our opinions in the reviews, right?
Professionally. وحطي تحت professionally a southern line. What does that mean? Actually, you're going to write about your likes and dislikes professionally, because this is reviewing something that you don't have anything to do with. If you're going to write in an open heart and say like and dislikes in a simpler word, anybody's going to sue you. Anybody's going to sue you in court. And you have to do it professionally. And this is why I'm telling everybody that he's taking reviews as a writing, that you have to use implication in the writing. For example, this is a mere example, yani do not do it. You want to tell your mother or your grandmother that she's a slow driver. But if you're going to tell her that, she's going to be offended. She's going to be insulted. She's sensitive. What are you going to tell her in a humorous way so she can understand that she's a slow driver?
Ma'am, can I try to answer?
Yeah, of course. I'm asking you.
Okay, maybe I will tell her, Mom, I always arrive late to school.
But this is blunt. This is so blunt. This is so direct. No.
No, it's not direct.
No. Go around the bend a little bit. No, go around the bend and try to use sense of humor.
I can try. Teacher, can I try?
Go ahead.
Well, Mom, I know you're a good driver, but you're a bit slow.
This is blunt and direct, young ladies. No. Type, what about mine? If my mom is driving slowly, but I don't want to insult her or even harm her delicate feelings, I'm gonna have a smile or a grin on my face and tell her, Mom, what do you think about enrolling your name in Fast and Furious cast next year? You're not laughing. This is, I mean that you don't get it? Guys?
No, ma'am, we got it.
You got it, but you're not laughing.
No, actually,
No, we're laughing.
Was that so bad? Was that so bad?
No, ma'am, we're laughing, but like we're mute.
Okay. Now, can you tell me something like that? This is what we call implication, or using irony in favor of not getting sued when you're writing your opinion. Masalan, if you are reviewing a film, and if the film is really boring, but actually if you are a critique, a professional one, and you want to get your views as direct as possible, you're going to be sued. You're not going to be able to tell him or to tell the people in the newspaper, this movie is boring. What else that you can write with the same meaning? Can you try it?
well, actually, the setting of the movie was really colorful.
I can't hear you.
I'm talking about if I'm saying the setting of the film was really eye-catching.
But this is direct, dear. This is direct. No, this is direct. It will cause you much trouble. Kunuz. Yes, dear.
I guess mine is also direct.
Okay, tell me. Should I? Yes, I want to hear it.
Okay. This film is tedious as I died of boredom.
Okay. Maybe implications should be يعني experience rather than this. لا, you should say مثلا if you're going to describe the film is a boring one. If you're doctor, you can hear me, guys, of the internet connection. If
Yes,
your
now.
if your doctor failed to prescribe sleeping pills for you, so this movie is your second chance. What does that mean?
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. What does that mean? Yeah. That means if you want to have. Yeah, you're laughing now. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually funny.
Yeah. Okay. This is delivering your idea in a very quiet, humorous way, and nobody can do anything about it. Okay. So we've tackled articles. We've tackled letters. We've tackled readings, and all of this concerned Cambridge. Okay, now we're going to turn to Oxford, guys. Anybody here in Oxford? Anybody here in Oxford? Guys?
I'm
No
Cambridge, teacher.
Me too, I'm Cambridge.
I know, but do you like to hear in Oxford?
Okay, it's fine, no problem.
Okay. This is not the, okay. Okay. In Oxford, it's a little bit thematic. What do I mean by thematic? All the 4 papers, actually Oxford has 4 papers. Paper 1 concerned with the writing, paper 2 concerned with the reading, paper 3 concerned with the listening, paper 4 concerned with the speaking. They are dealing with all the skills of the language. Actually, all the papers are based on 3 themes. Yani, all the topics that you're gonna deal with based on 3 themes. Theme number 1, we call it identity and culture. Theme number 2, we call it local, national, international, and global areas of interest. Number 3, the theme number 3, current and future study and employment. If we're going to tackle writing concerning Oxford, this is the first task. In the exam, we have 4 tasks. Task number 1 goes with a photo like that, a colored photo. Our focus in this, clear punctuation and clear spelling, in which students are giving a photograph like that and asked to write a short description. And the short description should be between 30 to 50 words. 30 to 50 words. And actually the examiners in the Oxford board, they are going to assess the ability to convey meaning. What do I mean by meaning? Meaning and information. Yani the ability of describing all of this with highly figurative language. The ability to describe all of this with high figurative language, high punctuation marks, and advanced vocabulary. This exercise for 9 marks. Exercise number 2, your school or college is holding a swimming gala. Write a letter to parents inviting them to attend, and you have to focus upon these 3 requirements. Okay, but the second task is mainly concerned with writing letters, formal and informal, between 50 and 70 words, between 50 and 70 words. And this is actually a little bit similar to the letters in Cambridge, okay? And the mark is going to be for 12 marks. Task number 3, little bit challenging. We're talking about that the examiner on Oxford board is going to give you all of these key points, and he's going to ask you to write a diary or a blog or a recount or an account or reporting experience or some of a small article or a report. And this is concerned with the personal writing, in which you're going to be assessed for technical accuracy. That means that he's going to look at the grammar and the fluency of your writing. The fluency of your writing means that you're going to have a style from 70 to 90 words, and that goes for 16 marks. The last task is going to be task 4, in which this is an extended one because we have 23 marks in it, in which you have all the purposes in life. This is maybe a little bit like exercise 6 in Cambridge. Choose a person who has played an important part in your life and explain blah, 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 your explanation should be between 100 and 150. Okay? That all goes in 1 hour, 15 minutes. All of these 4 tasks, 1 hour, 15 minutes.
It's hard.
No, it's not.
It's fun. It's fun, but hard. It's fun. It's fun.
It's fun, but it's not hard. Nothing is hard, dear. With exercise, nothing is hard. If we're going to tackle the speaking is so amusing. What do we have in the speaking? Actually, the speaking is paper 4. You have 2 to 4 minutes to prepare. Prepare for what? We have 2 parts concerning. We have a photo card, and the photo card for theme 1 and a photo card for another theme 1. We have 2 photo cards. The board themselves is telling you, مثلا for Sarah, it should be examined in the first photo. I'm going to give you 2 to 3 minutes to prepare what you can see in the photo and write it on a letter. After the 4 minutes is gone, I'm gonna pull the writing, what you've written, and talk about it. Am I going to encourage you with small questions? Of course. Of course, like what can you see in the photo? Who are the people in your family? Do you spend your free time with family or with your friends? Let's talk about the photo. And that goes for 3 to 4 minutes with 15 marks. The second part of the exam is going to be the general conversation. General conversation. General conversation is going to be, if you have the exam of the photo card on theme 1, I'm going to ask you about theme 2 and theme 3 in the general conversation. If you're having 2 in the photo card, 1 and 3 should be used in the general conversation. And all of this for 25 marks. So let's go for the reading. This is writing again. Okay. This is reading. Also the speaking was in 40 minutes, guys. The reading, 5 tasks. The reading, 4 tasks in 1 hour, quarter of a minute. Task 1 is going to be the easiest one, like that. We have multiple choice and we have direct questions. Task 2, it's going to be a little bit hard, which students are going to read about 400 or 500 words. If it's going to be an advert, a respond to a series of open questions, we have multiple choice, we have a location task, we have the question concerning the purpose and the audience and the effect. Yani مثلا, in the first paragraph, the writer says London is awash with spectacle. What does this mean? And that goes for figurative language. Task 3, 400 to 600 words. It's like an opinion article about something. And you're going to have lots of deeper question concerning that. Okay, what is the main point of the paragraph? Figurative language, effect, or purpose question. Task 4, which is the hardest actually. Students are asked to read a literally non-fiction text, 600 words, and respond to a series of open questions. Yani here we have an open question for anything. Multiple choice, location task. Students are assessed on their ability to understand the ideas and purpose of the text. Okay, I guess it leans a little bit towards grade 8, the reading, but not that much hard like 8. This is concerned with Oxford, guys. Since none of you is Oxford, so I'll guess all of you are Cambridge, right? Right, guys?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, teacher.
Okay. Any question concerning Cambridge?
No. No, thank you, teacher.
Thank you. Thank you for attending today. Stay safe.
Thank you, ma'am.
Is your head from here?
Ma'am?
Yes?
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Nice thing to have you.
Ma'am,
Yes?
ma'am, when is
Yes,
the
dear.
next? What is the timing for
The next
session?
lesson, Miss Nurhan is going to tell you. Miss Nurhan, are you with us?
Okay, ma'am.
Miss Nurhan? Miss Nurhan?
Ma'am, I think she left. I don't know.
I don't
not
think
here.
so. She's here. Just
Yeah.
wait a minute. Miss Nurhan, we're searching for you, dear. Where are you? Just a minute. She's going to be with us.
ايوه السلام عليكم ورحمه الله وبركاته. استاذه اميره هي تقريبا مس نورهان طلعت، فهو ال الواتساب جروب اللي احنا عاملينه موجود على الشات اهو، فيا ريت كل المجموعه اللي موجوده اللي تحب تجوين او تحب تسال اي سؤال تجوين الواتساب جروب.
طيب. Yes, guys, if you want to ask any questions about the second session or whatever you want, join the WhatsApp group and an admin will answer all your questions, telling you when is the next session. Okay, guys?
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome, dear. Oh, you're so polite. You're saying ma'am and ma'am and ma'am again. Thank you, Habibti.
Thank you.
Thank you, dear.
Thank
Bye. Stay safe.
You too, ma'am.
Bye. I'm gonna leave.
Bye, teacher.